Hello again, one more time, part 3 of section 2 in chapter 2. This is where we ended up last video talking about the standard form of the linear equation. So let's talk about now, what if I want to graph these linear equations? Well, an easy way to do this is to know the x and y intercept, because we know these already, really. You probably know these from your past. So let's define them real quick, and then we're going to use them. The y-intercept is where a graph crosses the y-axis. It always has the ordered pair 0, y, where y is your y-intercept. The x-intercept is where a graph crosses the x-axis. It's always in the form x, 0. So those zeros are always going to be here. So those zeros must appear in your ordered pairs for these intercept points. Now, why these are important for a linear function. Remember from geometry that 2 points always create a line. So if we have 2 points, we can just connect them with a piece of paper or a ruler and we'll have a line. So we need these 2 points, connect them, and that will be our line. So example 6 says, find the x-intercept and find the y-intercept of the graph of 2x minus 3y plus 8 equals 0, then graph the equation. I see this isn't quite in standard form right now. If you want to do that first, because it's easier to work with, you can. You don't have to at this point. They didn't specifically ask us to do that. So, x-intercept, I'll do that one, and then notice the little question mark. I'm going to have you guys find the y-intercept. So, here we go. I am going to find the x-intercept. Well, for the x-intercept, I see that the y value is always 0. Always, 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 and forever. So, I'm going to use that to my advantage. I'm going to take this equation and plug in y equaling 0. So I have 2x minus 3 times 0 plus 8 equals 0. I'm going to simplify this and solve for x. If I can solve for x, that's going to be my x-intercept. So I see this is actually 2x minus 0 plus 8, which is really just 2x plus 8. I'm going to subtract that 8 off to the other side. I'm going to divide by 2, and I get a very nice x equaling -4. So my x-intercept is the ordered pair -4, 0. It's always going to be in that form, the x value that you just found, 0 for your x-intercept. Okay, so now knowing that, I want you to find the y-intercept. So, knowing what you know from these definitions up top, knowing this equation, find the y-intercept. And let's do that now. So here we go. This time, x equals 0, always. If it's the y-intercept, x is going to be 0. So I'm going to plug in x is 0 now. 2 times 0. Minus 3y plus 8 equals 0. Okay, gonna clean that up a little bit before I solve it. I really see that the 0 minus doesn't really affect anything, so that is just -3y plus 8 equals 0. I'm gonna subtract that 8, finally getting to solve. I have -3y equals -8. Last step, I'm going to divide by 3, and I see that it's not going to be quite as nice of a number as the other one, as my x-intercept. But let's take a look. This is y equals negative divided by a negative is a positive 8/3. On my calculator, 8 divided by 3, I get 2.6 repeating. Positive 2.6 repeating. So my y-intercept is 0, 2.6 repeating. Okay, so find the x-intercept, find the y-intercept of the graph. We have done that. Then graph the equation. So what I'm going to do is go off to the side. I've drawn an xy coordinate grid for myself. It's not labeled yet. You can always label it whatever you need it to be. Try to make it evenly spaced. I need -4, 0 as my x-intercept. So -4, 0 as my x-intercept, and then 0, 2.6 repeating, so 2/3 of the way between 2 and 3. So here is 2, here is 3, 0, 2.6 repeating. That's going to be roughly right there. Okay, so that's my x-intercept, that's my y-intercept. Just plotting the points. So now I'm going to take an edge of a notebook and just connect those lines. If you don't have the edge of a notebook or a piece of paper or a real ruler, that's fine, just sketch it out. There we go, and I'm going to put little arrows on the end just showing that it goes on forever and ever and ever. And remember, there are more ordered pair points along the way, like here and here and here, and here and here and here, like all along the way. All of these are little points. However, I only need two of them for me to be able to draw my line just with a piece of paper or a side of a notebook. So that's what I need. This is my my y-intercept. My y-intercept is 0, 2.6 repeating. My x-intercept is over here, and that is -4, 0. There we go. And again, there are other ways to graph this equation. You probably know some of them from Algebra 1 and from geometry, but for right now, that is the method we are going to use. You must know how to do this method for certain problems in the homework, in test, all that good stuff, and it's good to know. Good to know to be able to plug in a value and solve for the other value. So there you have it. That is all about linear relations and functions. We will be continuing with that a little bit more this chapter, but there is your intro. Hooray! So we will talk about that in class soon.